Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, and Alfa Knives AK5 rendition, if you will. Before we get started, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are all over, but the main one is this: anything over zero is simply unacceptable. And vets, we love you. Man, you have a place here. You're welcome here. We back to blue over here with Support Lou, all to the chagrin of many. How you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. So here's the deal. You can tell by the title that I'm super impressed with this knife. This is the AK5 made by Alfa, A-L-F-A. Damon Lusky is the knife maker. Here's the deal, guys. I'm going to give y'all some specs. The steel on this is Aeb-L, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. It is what's used, or has been used for years to make razors, but we're going to get into that in a minute. Some quick specs. The blade length is about 3 1/8. The cutting surface is right at 2 3/4. But I'm going to tell you something, son. This is a cutting machine. It's G10 handles, beautiful black and white. Of course, there's the billboarding on the back, ALFA knives. The blade thickness. Now, remember, we talked about this the other day. The blade thickness is 1/8. We talked about this the other day. Damon believes that not all steels have to be sharpened pry bars. You heat treat them correctly, the edge geometry is correct, and you've got a cutting tool. Now, the inner grip is right at 3 3/4. I can get a full finger, 4-finger grip on that. The overall handle length is about 4 1/8. Now, Aeb-L is rapidly, and I mean rapidly, becoming one of my favorite steels. Let me read you a little bit on it, and then we'll move forward. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring in a little more info to it. Aeb-L is a non-powder stainless steel made by Böhler. It's a European company at Böhler. We've all heard of that. Famous for its corrosion resistance, hardness, and ease of sharpness. The combination of hardness and ease of sharpness is really kind of what makes it special compared to other steels. Now, it is not a powdered steel. That's important to remember. It was originally made for razor blade, and today it's used in the knife industry and scalpel blades. The other part that I found interesting was Aeb steel was first patented in 1928. Over the next 3 to 4 decades, it transitioned to Aeb-L, and I'm not getting that far into it. It is a phenomenal steel. Now, here's the deal, guys, and here's what everybody really, I want y'all to understand. Damon, and I don't know what title he has, but it ought to be master. I cut literally every damn thing I could with this knife. Everything. It just kept going and going and going and going. You see, we're doing the John Peters stab test there, and always, it is a Warncliffe style blade, sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it. It's beautifully done, as all Alfa knives are, but this thing is an absolute cutting tool. And remember, this is a demonstration channel, a review channel, whatever the hell you want to call it. So we're going to do a few things that maybe most folks wouldn't. Put the knife to the test. I didn't do a lot of stupid shit with the knife. I'm trying to move away from some of that, but give it some more hard use. So I cut, literally. All you're going to see in this video is cutting. Now, here's a piece of fat wood, good sized piece of fat wood here. And what I wanted to do here, what I do, guys, and I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but since the studio's coming on good, and since we're going to start doing more and more campouts, guys, what I'll do is I'll take pieces of fat wood, fat lighter, lighter knot, whatever the hell you want to call them, and I break them down into almost pencil size sticks, right? I just use them, and I'll keep 7 or 8 of them on me. And I keep them on me quite a bit. I keep a bag of them in the car. It's just a hell of a lot easier to start a fire with. So I wanted to use this knife to process some of that up. Just doing some quick batoning. Would I normally baton with this knife? No, you know I wouldn't. But we didn't use a huge stick, but it don't take a big stick of fat wood, lighter knot, to do a little damage to that edge. I'm going to tell you right now, we cut that sandblast hose that's still belted, I cut it a bunch. I cut the ratchet strap a bunch. This knife kept cutting and cutting and cutting. And here's a spoiler alert. At the end, we walk straight inside, and it still has enough of an edge on it to cut phone book paper. All right? That's impressive as shit. When you start considering everything we cut here. Now, real quick, do a few shout outs. Donnie B All Day, my brother from another mother. That's the name of his channel, Donnie B All Day. Joe, Steel Forged in Fire, Sword and Knife. Love that dude. Grugsy, Legion Tactical, and then Charles Jones, the Redneck Nerd. Also, guys, Pistol Pete is marching. Angry Dracolope's marching. And if I think anybody else, I'll shout them out as we go. Big Bore Knife and Gear review. Scott is an awesome dude. Check that out. Now, back to the knife. Guys, this is at 2-inch high pressure. This is 1/4 inch thick shit, okay? The knife goes through it. Now, remember what we said. It's 2 3/4 inch cutting edge. That's not a lot. I don't need a lot with this thing. You can get that old man grip. You can get that pinch grip on it. But the impressive thing here, and I did this twice, that's the initial cut into that air hose. It's 2-ply. Both of them together is probably an 1/8 and an 1/8. So you got a 1/4 inch solid there. And we're cutting through. The other thing is this. This is only an 1/8 inch blade. Damon and JR and I talked about this. And then Kirk and I talked about this at length on Saturday while we were doing our camp out. Every damn knife that Damon does, he knocks out of the park with the heat treat. How do I know? Because I demonstrate them. Because I baton them. Because I cut through steel belted stuff. Because we use it and we use it and we use it and we use it. There's been no edge damage. I'm telling you, this group of 4 knives, this 4 knives that he sent, this is Aeb-L, that 8670 and that 01. These have been the group, these 4 have been the most impressive knives that I've ever seen as a group. I'm telling you right now. That damn buoy, y'all seen what it did. Now this knife here again, some of this stuff you're saying, well, Scab, this is redundant. It is, but this is more of a test, okay? I always say we don't test, nothing scientific. What I wanted to do here is just cut and cut and cut and cut and cut. And I've been doing this for a couple of weeks. If y'all paid attention, you've seen a good bit of shorts with this little knife, cutting paper. That'll dull out a blade. It really will. But today, we just really put it to the test. And you're going to see things that we would cut 2 or 3 times, we go 4 and 5 times. This ratchet strap, this knife had 0 problem. The other thing that I love about the knife is it's super, super comfortable in hand. Now, let me give you a couple more specs on it. I gave you the handle length. I gave you the inner grip. The handle width is 1 inch. The handle thickness is right at a 1/2 inch. So, a little smaller, but it fits my hand very well for those small tasks. You know, this might be one of my favorite blades Damon's done, and I'll tell you why. I am on a pocket fixie, just street. Now, the widest part of this blade is 1 inch and an 1/8. For a little blade like this, that's pretty wide. It's got a nice little ricasso there. Everything is just well done. You can carry this. I don't know the weight on it. I probably should have checked that, but then again, there's a lot of shit I probably should do, and I don't. I can tell you this, the main thing I did with it was just kept cutting. You know what I'm going to keep doing with it? I'm going to keep cutting. I've got one more Alfa knives that I'm going to use for a Thanksgiving Day special, and then these will be going back to JR. All I'm going to have to do, and this speaks volumes, the only thing I'm going to have to do to these knives is strop them. That's pretty impressive, guys. I mean, that's it. I'm not going to have no sharpening, no honing, no nothing. A couple of strops, and it's in there like swimwear. Now, right here, we just do some push cuts. I'm the worst push cutter in the damn world. Hands down, that's no secret. I'm horrendous at it. Thank God for this blade. And here's that point and period in time in the life of the video where I just do something dumbass as hell. Luckily, the knife's super sharp and handled it, and all I was trying to do was split that air hose. But if you see how close my fingers are, Scab just does some stupid shit sometimes, so you don't have to. Let's look at it that way. Now, we jump back to that ratchet strap. I've said it many times. I'll say it just about every video. I do this ratchet strap for my hunters, my fishermen, my trappers. If there's any hide tougher than that 2-inch ratchet strap, you probably want to let it be. You know what I'm saying? The knife, that's the first time I've ever been able to do that. I got 4 slices on that ratchet strap. Now here's the zip tie thing. One of the things with the zip ties, if it's a hollow ground or if there's something wrong with the heat treat, it's going to crack that blade. It's going to chip that blade. We had absolutely zero rolling, chipping, anything. Now, right here we're going back to some batoning. And again, guys, at this point in the video, I kind of had an idea because I was out there a good while, but I kind of had an idea that I had enough stuff, but I just wanted to keep going because I wanted to put this Aeb-L to the test, and I wanted to put Damon's heat treat to the test. Why? Because everything he's done so far has been spot on. I don't know why I would have thought this would be any different. I didn't. I just wanted to prove the point. We're going to cut a ton of cardboard here in a minute. You just see, we're just doing normal stuff. Now, would I do this? I did a lot of this today, not with this knife, but with another knife at work to get a fire started. So a lot of times I will break down a stick of wood, just break it down into small pencil-sized sticks. It makes it easier to light up. Now, right here is where we're trying to put some extra pressure on. Just cutting a bunch of plastic, got it done. Right there, I'm staggering around doing something. Oh, getting this old dried out oak stick. Now, here is a zip tie, I guess, fell out of my pocket. Zip right through there, no problem. And right here, you're going to see some really good slices. This is just a slicing machine. And if anybody's ever messed with any old oak that's drying out, you know what a pain in the ass that can be. But you see how that thing's just stripping it, son. Damn badass knife. I'm telling you right now, and I know I say it every video, but I'm telling y'all, as far as an EDC and everyday deal, this is it. Now, right here, this box, we're just going to do a ton of cuts. As many cuts as I can do and get out of it. We're cutting through tape, we're cutting through cardboard. And again, I said testing. It's not really testing because it's just an idiot with a knife. But think of all the stuff, man. Just think of all the shit we've cut. It's a ton. If we wrote it out, it'd be a ton. I'm not going to write it out. Maybe you can. I'm not. But we wanted to wear and wear and wear and wear on this edge. This is Alfa ALFA knives. I love it. Damon Lusky is the maker. They are distributed through Old Town Cutlery, OLDETONE Cutlery. It's sharp as shit. And again, guys, spot on. Damon, outstanding job, man. Now watch this. Think about all we cut, and this is phone book paper. One, some of y'all won't know what a phone book is. That's where you used to look people up and call them. I know that's an arcane theory now. But honestly, guys, the edge on this thing is insane. No stropping, no nothing. Well, guys, listen, here's what you really need to know. I'm Scab. You're not. Man, I'm in love with ALFA knives. This is the AK5. I'm Scab. You're not, and I'm gone, son.